emphasis on the innate and the universal force has been moved out of the public eye and been reduced to an article of faith, like a secret doctrine. Chiropractic theory has become a secret doctrine. It is something learned, respected, and revered, but little practiced. The social pressure from medicine has brought technique to the forefront, and philosophy has slipped back as a result. There are two main implications of the demise of chiropractic philosophy, and here they are. Here are the implications for the demise of our philosophy, according to this medical anthropologist, MD, PhD. The first is the disappearance of that which is distinctly chiropractic. Having already begun to lose the exclusive practice of spinal manipulation to the allopaths and the physiotherapists, only the chiropractic philosophy significantly distinguishes the chiropractic practitioner. And yet, the philosophy is kept hidden away in response to social threats, calling us quacks, calling us cultists, social threats to its existence. Chiropractic has accepted the materialistic worldview of the allopaths. It has done so in fear of being labeled quackery, and this, undoubtedly, was a good strategy to follow at one time, but the public knows next to nothing of chiropractic philosophy, of healing and its mechanisms. If hospitals offer spinal manipulation, the chiropractor offers nothing else. This distortion of the chiropractic tradition can only be overcome by a reevaluation of the place of theory in chiropractic. And such a reevaluation would look at issues such as the acceptability of chiropractic explanatory theory, methods of conveying theory to patients, and the place of philosophy in technique, and the like. Dispossessed of its philosophy, chiropractic is dispossessed of its uniqueness and perhaps its future. I say there's no perhaps about it. Without our philosophy, we can join the army of manipulation. But the second aspect, and this faces John's question, well, when will this pride rise again and we chiropractors out there? The second aspect of a philosophical re-examination is more personal. The change in emphasis away from chiropractic theory has been a response to external pressure. Another result of this pressure has been the growth of what could be called chiropractic practitioner paranoia and insecurity. For fear of being labeled quacks, chiropractors have generally diminished the role of philosophy in their practice, and as a result, it seems to me, have themselves lost faith in the philosophy. Healers without confidence in their own methods are unlikely to achieve the full potential of their methods. Knowing as we do, there is so much more to healing than mechanics. The chiropractors in North America would do well to accept that they have achieved a measure of security as a social medical group, is quote. They then can reorientate themselves to pursuing the healthcare ideals of chiropractic philosophy, a goal with the additional benefit of preserving the unique character of chiropractic. Now, I apologize for that long, rather tedious quote, but it explains things. Here we have a core of people who are still imbued with philosophy. I've never considered Johnstead to be a technique. I've considered it to be a methodology. It went way back into Stevenson's and picked up majors and minors and told you to correct certain levels and not swing from the chandelier up and down the spine. That's right. It's a methodology. It had a philosophy behind it. I knew Dr. Johnstead. I interned with him personally because my father's a good friend. Those were the years when philosophy was embedded in our work. And I want you to bring that back so that the passion comes forth. Margaret Graham said, great dancers are not great because of their technique. They are great because of their passion. We used to call that at Homer Spizzerington. Listen to the words of this fellow. Does he have to be paid $25,000 an hour to talk to us? And yet when he comes before our audience, says, everybody says, oh, wonderful. Yes, I'm not deteriorating the man's words, but my God, they're ours. The human body is the most exquisite pharmacy in nature. Its inner intelligence is the ultimate and supreme genius that mirrors the wisdom of the universe. That mirrors the wisdom of the universe. Universal intelligence is in all matter and continually gives to it all of its properties and actions, thus maintaining it in existence. The major premise. The chiropractic meaning of life, the expression of this intelligence through matter is the chiropractic meaning of life. We had all this. That rudimentary statement is kindergartenish compared to our philosophy. The first part, the human body, is the most exquisite pharmacy in nature. The best immune system is in the body, not the lab. Nice and simple, old CS said it, didn't he? The best immune system is in the body, not the lab. Oh, the whiskers and that intense staring that comes out from his photographs. The science of chiropractic has modified our views concerning life, death, health, and disease. We no longer believe that disease is an entity, something foreign to the body, which may enter it from without, and with which we have to grasp, struggle, fight, and conquer, or submit and succumb to its ravages. 1910, and they're still warring against disease. And it won't work. What war has worked? Have they solved diabetes? Oh no, they know how to keep the weakened body longer upon this earth through insulin. Have they solved diabetes? Have they solved heart trouble? Cancer, the biggest killer? Basically nothing. Have we lived better with them? Yes. Would you want to be without medicine? No. But where's the biggest plague? 180,000 deaths per year due to medical error. 330,000 people died in 14 years from AIDS, and 2,250,000 died from medical error. Where's the plague? 106,000 people die per year due to properly prescribed medical drugs by their own statistics. And one stroke case in Canada puts us all in panic, doesn't it? Tell it like it is. Every reporter that comes around, you have those stats in your mind, you spit them out there, put out there by the AMA. You must admit the AMA does actually put out those statistics. We've got them. We can arm ourselves. Disease is not an entity, a thing like a cat or a dog. It's a condition. It's not foreign to the body. Most every bug that can infect you is already in you, which may enter from without, which have to grasp, struggle, fight, and conquer. Then he says disease is a disturbed condition, not a thing of enmity. It's not an enemy. What are symptoms? An enemy? You feel pain when you touch a hot stove. Let's get rid of that pain. Pain is normal. Pain is natural. Proves you're alive. Age, by the way, is a study in the acceptance of pain. Where did I get that? You don't know. Okay? It's normal. It's natural, if Mrs. Jones says to you. But doctor, I have to take 4 aspirin to go shopping or my knees just kill me. And you say, Mrs. Jones, if you had a bruise on your arm right here, would you take 4 aspirin and then beat on it? Think of what you're doing to your knees. If you had a dripping faucet, would you simply put a sponge under it so you couldn't hear it drip? If you had a burglar alarm in your house, would you put cotton on the